Hello everyone. Hi Joel. Today we were supposed to have a guest. That guest did not come into work today for very good reasons. So we do not have a special guest today, but we will next week. At least hopefully. We'll see. No promises, I guess. So today it's just me. I was told by a coworker, oh hey Nate, Joel beats everyone usually. I was told by a coworker to do the like cringy YouTube greeting of like, hey, what's up guys, coming at you from Aquatics Unlimited, Amanda here, and yep, that's all you're ever gonna get. That's the only time I will probably ever say that. It's just not me. I am just a simple Midwest farm girl who loves fish. Joel, that is actually a really good question. We'll go over by the copepods in a little bit. Steve is just closing out the cash registers. Shout out to Steve. Steve, you're great! Steve has to pick up the slack when I do the live stream now on Sundays and close out the registers, and he's amazing. Alright, there's really no one new to show over here that I can remember. I guess technically, well, if you guys are just coming in for the saltwater live stream and you didn't see the regular live stream yesterday, we have this big, beautiful pink tail trigger shown off. They are a less aggressive trigger. Reef safe with caution will probably destroy your inverts. It would cause issues if you have very small fish, but if you have a large reef tank and you like, you know, living on the edge with your reef where maybe you have big angels and such, probably no zoanthids, you could always try a trigger, and my go-to with that is blue jaw trigger for a reef. The second go-to would be a pink tail trigger, but it is definitely a risk. Reef safe with caution. I was debating the paint color actually because, so option number one today was have a guest speaker. That did not happen. Hold on. Look at the clown. That's a tomato clown. She's so cute. She's a big, beautiful girl who would love some anemones to live in. Alright, so guest speaker was number one option. Number two option was add a new fish to our display tank. That is the Ugly Phase example tank. Ooh, we still have one of these really pretty Yumas here. Sorry, I'm gonna get very distracted and my ADHD will come out during this. So both Yumas are pretty, but this one obviously with that orange just stands out. There was another one, it sold. We have one vibrant Yuma left. Oh, look at the Bower Banky acan sending out its sweeper tentacles. That one is ready to go. Roger. Stop taking off the corals. So then I did not get ready to put the next fish into the display tank, so we might actually go look at the paint colors. Joel, okay, hold on. We'll fill everybody in a little bit. I have not tagged them yet. I was waiting for them to get fluffy, and they are officially very fluffy. Actually, that one's starting to close up a little bit more, but the lights are going down. There are two pink frog spawns that are going to be tagged and for sale starting tomorrow, and this green frog spawn. And then there is a light yellow, slightly golden octospawn in the middle, which was looking really fluffy earlier. Now it's closed up, but I think it's because the lights are, like I said, going down. We have a regular green frog spawn. We have all the Seriatopora, which some of that stuff that was bleached is totally coming back. You can see all of the polyps starting to extend, and that one's starting to get the green color back at the top. This pink one has a lot of polyp extensions. One's toward the back too. Hello, Roger. All right, we got to do our weekly hello to Roger. Oh, there is a new coral in here that I am in love with. These, oh, there they go. These Platygyra. They are, see if you can see it from the top down. No, you're not going to be able to. Anyway, they are that like green and bright red. Love them. The Cinerina are definitely sending out their feeding tentacles. We have 3 left. We sold the biggest one. We still have 2 of the big open brains or Trichophilia corals. And we have some new plates this week. That one at the back is a purplish, brownish, pinkish color in the center, and then it has that bright green rim. We still have a little orange plate, and he's moving toward that leather coral. Plates actually will walk a little bit. There's this light grayish blue one with the green polyp extensions. That one is not receding, it's not bleaching, that's actually the color. And then this bright lime green one. There is a Crocea clam in here. We're trying them in here because our wrasse in the coral table just keeps flipping them over because it wants to dig in the containers that we were keeping the clams in. We actually have some Xenia. We have some pulsing Xenia that came in really nice. Usually it doesn't ship well and then doesn't acclimate well for us. It takes over your tank. Once it's happy, it is a weed. But it is actually difficult when it has to ship for usually over 24 hours. So just you guys taking it home, not a problem. But sending it in a bag and shipping it across the country, it's not always very happy. This little display is so cute and is not going through the ugly stage at all. There's a lot of things going on in here, but this rock flower is currently my favorite. And then this one over here that we were almost going to add a fish into today, that'll be another week. I'll probably show you guys how the drip acclimate, because I know not everyone knows how the drip acclimate. Little storm clown. This is going through the ugly stage on purpose. I've said it before, but there will be a series coming out on this. We're going to edit down a shorter video of all the stages of ugly phase and what to do for each of those stages and how long they should last normally, and if they last longer than that, what to do. Because some of them you can pretty much just kind of ignore. It's just normal. Your tank has to go through it. What helps with it though is copepods. They can definitely limit your ugly stage. They can tone it down. In a new tank, you definitely want to add copepods plus live phytoplankton so they have something to eat. Unfortunately, I'm using my phone, so I can't then shine my phone underneath it, but I fed all of these yesterday, took a look at all of them. There are copepods swimming in all of them. However, you won't be able to see it with my camera because they're just so tiny. Now, copepods are cleanup crew. They're also fish food though, and most of the time people want these and they want to seed them and have them start breeding in their tank because they want something like a mandarin dragonet or a ruby red scooter blenny, which is technically a type of dragonet, or one of the other mandarin species. They need to eat these. Their mouths are so tiny and they cannot eat amphipods. Amphipods are much larger. Some things will eat them, like big wrasses and such. But also, amphipods aren't going to be in all the itty-bitty little crevices, all the nooks and crannies of your coral, and they're not going to be coral food, where your copepods can also feed some of the corals. Let's see if I can find any amphipods so you know what I'm talking about, because you could actually see them with my phone. They are magnitudes larger than copepods. And usually we have quite a few of them in the invert tank because invert tanks because there's no fish in this system. So there's no predators. We did get a big restock on inverts because you guys really cleared me out last week, which is awesome. I wasn't expecting us to go through that many inverts during slow season. It is technically the start of slow season when in Wisconsin. It's the let's go out and barbecue and go camping season, which I appreciate. Not seeing any of the amphipods out. This big green serpent star. They're a cool starfish. Still have a tiger cowrie snail and a few fighting conchs, as well as strawberry conchs. I know some people say conches, but that E is silent. It's not like the normal ES as at the end. It's just conchs. Okay, I can't. Sorry, I just saw the healthy human lung color comment. Yes. Alright. Are there any questions on livestock before I take you guys into the front room and show you what I've been working on all day? We had our moments of it being busy today in the store, especially after lunch. I think everyone likes going out to lunch in the area, and then we get the after lunch rush. And then we had some downtime, and I started a project. Amphipods are a good cleanup crew. I do like them in the tanks. However, I rarely see lots of them in normal people's big reef tanks, just because you usually have fish eating them. They will come out of corals. I will say every time I dip corals, I see a ton of amphipods come out. So they do help clean the base of your corals, and I think they probably keep other little pests out, which is great. We have some nice big bubble tips. We have some rainbows in here. And we have some true black widows. The price on the black widows is $120, which is a steal. Come get a black widow anemone if you've been debating finding one. And last but not least, my other favorite coral we have is this big fluffy colt coral that I think I mentioned last week, but it wasn't tagged yet. That price on that guy is $75 for a rather large colony of colt coral. So come in and grab that guy. We also have some nice Duncans, but we have this big 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-headed Duncan. Let's see, what did I price that guy at? That one's $100. Or you can get these single head Duncans for $50. So that one's a steal. Joel, we don't have nudibranchs. Nudibranchs, every species of nudibranch is very picky and only ever eats one thing. And keeping one thing for them in your tank is very difficult. Alright, that's all I'll say on that. Behind this curtain is quarantine. We don't really let you guys usually go in quarantine. However, if you've ever been in the store, very frequently the curtain is open. And this room is old. It has a lot of stuff. It's been hard to move and clean well. And half of our saltwater quarantine is up here. We are redoing our salt mixing vats, and we're actually adding a vat as well as having a lower vat to actually mix the salt. It's very exciting on our end. Not so much you guys, other than we're not going to have days that we run out of water, which you may have experienced with us before. It's few and far between. Probably 2 days in the last, 5 months, we've actually ran out of water where you guys couldn't get either salt or RO. But we use a lot. Now, I don't think it's loud in here. You're probably not going to see this well. It would help if I remove the filter. So the idea is we're going to have this sandy color on the walls because white shows all the dirt. But I need a light color because I need a color that's going to reflect light everywhere. Kind of needs to be like a doctor's office. I need to be able to see the fish very well in the tanks, but I don't want to have a bright light on them right on the tanks. That can be stressful. I also already have a lot of blue, the background of the tanks is blue. Yeah. And then that very beautiful blue wall, which I love that blue, that one I'm happy with, is also going to have one of Annabelle's beautiful murals up above it eventually. And she might, if I ask nicely, do a couple little murals of cutesy hermit crabs and stuff on these walls. I'm not sure yet. But if you come in person, that sandy color has quite a bit of pink to it. I originally kind of wanted the walls to be kind of coral pink, so I'm not against the pink. But there was a lot of debate today. Let's just say A lot of people hate the color. Some people are like, meh. And there's 2 that are like, yeah, keep it. I'm one of those where I'm on the fence about it. But I already bought the paint. I don't know, guys. It's not that bad. I think it'll look better once the blue is up. I think it'll look better once all the shelves are back in. Oh, paint is difficult. I liked it until someone told me, just like Joel, you said, it's kind of a like skin tone, fleshy color. Nah, I don't know. Now I don't like it quite as much anymore. I'd ask you guys to chime in, but you can't see it correctly on the phone camera, so I can't really ask for your vote. If you're big into interior design and you would like to see the paint color, you could come in tomorrow. But if we don't like it by the end of tomorrow, it will probably change. Because I don't exactly move slow with these things. Our grouper already went to bed. Hi, Brett. He's like, would you leave me alone, lady? Normally you're gone by now. Hi, George. George has really good eyesight. Maybe George can chime in on the paint color. Alright, anyway, guys. Not too many questions about saltwater today. Any last minute questions before I head out of here for the night? Alright, I hope to see you all soon. Next week, like I said, hopefully there'll be at least more of a topic. Either a guest or next week I will be prepping this tank with some new additions, or maybe there'll already be some additions to show in there. I'm not sure. Joel, don't pick on Ross. Ross and I both thought the wall color was good yesterday. Now today, I'm not sure. Nate, what are you saying? Yes? Oh, okay, you guys. Nate, no. I've explained this before. We don't do saltwater raised. Alright, here's one quick thing about saltwater at Aquatics Unlimited. There are certain fish that we just will not get in. Not because we can't source them, it is because we don't want to source them because we don't think they will live long. It is very difficult to take care of them. There are just certain things that I have even tried. I haven't tried rays. That's already off the list. I already know they're difficult. Very few people have the right setup for them. And the mortality rates, when you take a ray out of the ocean and try to put it into a tank and ship it and all that kind of stuff, the mortality rate is insanely high. That is something that should just be, in my opinion, left in the ocean, except for a few select people, and they can source it directly from a wholesaler that they trust and not have the ray jump between so many different tanks in the process of getting into their home or zoo or whatever it is. Now there's others like seahorses that under the right conditions you can have, but I once again recommend get captive bred and buy them directly from a breeder. Buy them directly from a breeder so that you can ask that breeder when they ship them to you, what are they eating, what are the parents like, what do you do to care for the parents, and then they are going to be there to help you and answer questions along the way if you start running into trouble with your seahorses. Red-lipped batfish are definitely on that list. One, I actually don't know if I can source that. Probably once in a while it would end up on a wholesale list. There are some fish that end up on a wholesale list like once a year, which is frustrating for people when they ask me, can you get this in? And I go, maybe, eventually, I don't know. There's certain things that I even want to get in that do well in tanks, that do well in shipment, but they still are rarely ever collected. I'm trying to think what else is on the list. What is currently on the list is actually something that is a teaser for you guys because we have it in this tank. The Regal Angels. Regal Angels, the average person doesn't want to know how many Regal Angels probably perish in the process of trying to get one into your tank. This one does extremely well. It is actually a Red Sea Regal, and I will say the Red Sea is a whole lot better at catching their fish, but they still are highly prone to disease. They do not like shipment. They're easily stressed, and they don't like switching to prepared foods. Obviously, ours is super fat and happy and eats very well, but it is one that was just really resilient and adaptable, and they're not all super resilient and adaptable. I've tried them, but I can only lose so many fish of a species in quarantine before I go, you know, maybe this one should be left in the ocean, and if how they are caught changes, if practices in the fish industry change, and all of a sudden other people start telling me they've been hardier, I might try again. Org fish are definitely another no. We want to keep this hobby alive. I love fish. We want to be sustainable in this hobby, and we want to be responsible. We want to get fish that are going to be successful and live a much longer life in captivity than they ever would out in the ocean, which is very, very possible for most fish. Anyway, sorry, I'll get off that soapbox. Like this guy. He's great. Rabbitfish, super hardy. Lunar wrasses, very hardy. Stars and stripes, actually not that bad. I have much better luck with stars and stripes than some of the other pufferfish. And oh my gosh, sailfin tanks, they are tanks. They just get very big. Alright, that's all guys. I hope you all have a wonderful night. I hope you have a good Monday ahead. Hopefully not too bad of a case of the Mondays tomorrow. And I will talk to you all next week. Bye!